You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 20th of March. Mumbai attacks mastermind urges US court to stop his extradition to India. Activists flag Pakistani atrocities in Sindh during protest at UNHRC. And Bangladesh seeks Modi-Yunus meeting at BIMSTEC summit in Bangkok. And now for all the details. Tahavur Rana, accused in the 2008 Mumbai attacks, has filed a request with the US Supreme Court to block his extradition to India, citing health concerns and fears of torture. His appeal follows a rejection of his review petition earlier this month, with a decision expected on April 4th. A report.
2611 accused Tahavur Rana has filed a request with US Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts to stop his extradition to India. This comes after the US Supreme Court Justice Elena Kagan rejected his review petition earlier this month. The application has been distributed to the Supreme Court judges for a conference scheduled for April 4, according to the US Supreme Court website. Rana has renewed his application seeking a stay on his extradition to India. He stated that because of his Muslim religion, his Pakistani origin, his status as a former member of the Pakistani army, the relation of putative charges to the 2008 Mumbai attacks, and his chronic health conditions, he is even more likely to be tortured than otherwise would be the case, and that torture is very likely to kill him in short order, he said. Earlier in February, US President Donald Trump announced the extradition of Tahavur Rana to India and said he would face justice. A Pakistani origin businessman, physician and immigration entrepreneur, Rana has alleged connections with Lashkar-e-Taiba and Pakistan's inter-services intelligence. Rana's alleged role in facilitating the attacks has remained a point of contention between India and the United States for years.
And as the sun sets over Pakistan's Karachi, hundreds gather for free iftar meals each day, a tradition that has become a lifeline for many struggling with rising food prices during the holy month of Ramadan. A report.
As the call for evening prayer rang through Karachi, hundreds of Pakistanis shared their iftar with a free meal provided by a local charity this week. Street iftar meals have long been a Ramadan tradition in the city. Donors usually offer money and food products to volunteers who set up the food stalls 1 hour before evening prayers to prepare the meals. Amid rising food prices, many low-income families rely on these free meals as they struggle to afford even basic necessities.
महंगाई ज़्यादा है और मेरे 4 बच्चे हैं, अब मैं अफ्तारी का सामान लेने जाऊं तो 400-500-600 रुपए लगते हैं. वही सामान यहाँ सुना था कि अफ्तारी अच्छी मिलती है, तो हम लोग यहाँ आए थे अफ्तारी करने के लिए, सहरी करने के लिए भी, अफ्तारी करने के लिए.
Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and requires that individuals abstain from eating, drinking, smoking and sex from dawn to dusk. Pakistan is a predominantly Muslim country where more than 90% of 240 million people practice Islam.
तारी तो बहुत महंगी मिलती है, सामान कम से कम फ्रूट तो बहुत महंगा है, और जो हमें बचत होती है उसकी हम अपने बाकी जो छोटे मोटे खर्चे घर के हैं उसमें इस्तेमाल करते हैं. बच्चों के स्कूल की फ़ीस है और दीगर खर्चे आते हैं, बिजली का बिल है, गैस का बिल है. गैस तो खैर आ नहीं रही मगर बिल भरना पड़ता है, जो लाइन रेंट 400 रुपये आ रहा है. और यहाँ बस इसके ये थोड़ा फ़ायदा है कि यहाँ फ़र्क करने से हमें पैसे थोड़े बचते हैं. तनख्वाह की जो सैलरी मेरी उसमें हम घर के अपने बाकी ज़रूरत पूरी कर लेते हैं.
And members of the World Sindhi Congress held a protest at the UNHRC in Geneva this week to draw attention to the ongoing rights violations in Sindh by Pakistan. Activists highlighted critical issues such as land grabbing and systemic persecution, calling for urgent international intervention.
The World Sindhi Congress staged a protest outside the UNHRC office in Geneva during its 58th session this week, raising awareness of human rights abuses faced by the Sindhi people under the Pakistani state. The protest focused on the worsening crisis in Sindh, particularly the devastating impact of 6 new canals being constructed on the river Indus. The activists warned that these canals, along with long-standing water theft, are exacerbating environmental damage and displacement of Sindhis. Additionally, the activists also condemned the allotment of land to the Pakistani military under the guise of corporate farming and raised concerns over enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and the persecution of Sindhi Hindus.
In various forms of genocide. When people don't have water to drink, people don't have food to, there is no medication, there is no hospital, and people die. People say, okay, he died because he didn't get medication. No. The state did it deliberately. It is genocide. They are committing genocide in Balochistan. They are committing genocide in Pakhtunkhwa. They are committing genocide in Sindh. They committed genocide in Bangladesh.
The activists demanded the immediate halt of canal construction, adherence to international water laws, a ban on military land allotments, and an end to rights violations. They urged the UN and international community to intervene, establish a fact-finding mission, and take urgent action to protect the Sindhi people from further suffering.
The Torkham border crossing the primary trade and travel route between Pakistan and Afghanistan reopened on Wednesday following nearly a month-long closure triggered by clashes between the security forces of both the nations. According to Riaz Khan Mehsood, a Pakistan government official, the crossing will initially facilitate trade while pedestrian movement will resume from Friday. The Torkham crossing had remained closed since February 21st after tensions escalated when Afghan forces objected to Pakistan's construction of a border outpost, leading to exchange of fire. The month-long blockade caused a severe backlog of truckloads of supplies predominantly destined for Afghanistan. The closure significantly impacted Afghanistan, which faces a humanitarian crisis and relies heavily on food imports from Pakistan. Trade between the two countries amounted to over $1.6 billion in 2024, according to Pakistan's Foreign Office, underscoring the economic importance of the Torkham crossing for both nations. Bangladesh has approached India to arrange a meeting between its chief advisor Mohammad Yunus and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Bangkok during the first week of April. Speaking to ANI, Bangladesh Foreign Advisor Mohammad Tohid Hussain said Dhaka has made a diplomatic request to India to hold a bilateral meeting between the two leaders on the sidelines of the upcoming BIMSTEC summit in Thailand. While both countries have engaged in a series of high-level exchanges at the foreign minister's level, Prime Minister Modi has yet to meet Yunus in person. Yunus has been leading the interim government in Bangladesh since four-time Premier Sheikh Hasina fled to New Delhi. Relations between the two countries have been strained since Hasina's ouster, as she was considered close to New Delhi. In February, India's Foreign Minister S.A. Shankar accused members of Yunus-led government of making ridiculous remarks against India. He warned that one cannot claim to see good ties with India while simultaneously blaming New Delhi for everything that goes wrong in Bangladesh. Nepali lawmakers from both the ruling and opposition parties have demanded the formation of a high-level committee to investigate an attempt to smuggle foreign currencies to China. Addressing the parliamentary session, a lawmaker from CPN Maoist Centre said that this incident has brought to light a picture of the level at which organized crime and smuggling networks are growing. Kathmandu Valley Crime Investigation Office on Tuesday announced the seizure of thousands of US dollars and euros that were being smuggled to China. Police confirmed that foreign currency worth approximately 250 million Nepali rupees was confiscated from freight truck bound for China. The operation took place late Monday night, in which the amount was recovered from a vehicle. The driver was immediately detained. Raising concerns over the pattern of only arresting low-level operatives, Nepali Congress lawmaker Ramhari Khatiwara also demanded a thorough investigation. These activities have not only created a significant challenge for Nepal police, but have also raised concerns that Nepal could become a fertile ground for foreign criminals to orchestrate large-scale illicit operations. Authorities suspect that the smuggled foreign currency was intended to finance gold smuggling into Nepal. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.